vinyl resurgence? To us, vinyl never left. Welcome in to the Vinyl Community Podcasts.
Welcome back, buddies. Yo, Concert Buddy here. You there? Welcome back. I'm about to bring you some knowledge here on Vinyl Community Podcasts. A fantastic guest. You may or may not know her. By the end of this, you will know her very well. It is the one
you won't know me, man.
You don't know me.
You don't know me.
It's the one and only Amanda Schutzman. Amanda, how are you?
I'm good. I'm actually so happy to not be hosting something for once.
Oh,
so
I wish I could say that sometimes. I actually,
yeah,
it's kind of a different vibe, right? If you're not like running point.
I kind of like being the guest. Yeah, it's a low pressure. Like I'm just gonna sign on at 2 p.m. No.
Well, a little background on Amanda, if you don't know. I mean, there's so much to go over. I have like literally 2 pages of notes. I don't know if we'll cover all this, but you may know her from her. And I have to start off and ask this. The website is wearesmelly.com. Please explain where this
I'm
name
so sorry. It was my old Instagram name, which is the reason it blew up. And then I was like, I didn't want to change it, but We Are Smelly got hacked. Then a whole bunch of record stores that like talk to me every day, they also got hacked. And I was like, You have to just ban We Are Smelly. But then I wound up getting We Are Smelly back. And I had lost like 5,000 people. And I felt so bad. And I was like, I have to honor it in some way. And so now I own the domain name. It's not like not a business decision I would tell people to do, but I've done it. So wearesmelly.com. And
the inspiration behind this, I don't think you don't take me as somebody with poor hygiene. We met a couple of years ago at WFMU, and I didn't, like record collectors and shows in particular. I'm just gonna.
I smell pretty good. I smell pretty good all the time. I love to shower, but as a community, we're smelly people. In spirit, I'd say. We're just weird and smelly, and we gather in VFW halls with our own boom boxes and sell old smelly shit, and that's just like what we like to do. So I think in spirit, we are smelly.
Well, that lead in is on Amanda's website, and that's actually where I got to first from the old We Are Smelly. I think I followed you on Instagram and didn't know all this service interruption stuff, but from her website, you can learn a lot about what she's behind. A couple things. She does an excellent job, and we'll get into it. She's curated excellent pamphlets, and I think probably stuff on the website too about how to find the best record stores in your state. And it's all 50 plus Washington, D.C. I had to count them. I was counting them. I was like
50. It was 50. And then they were just poking me about D.C. And they're like, you have to give it its own map. And I'm like, it's so tough, but I did. So you're welcome.
So they're very helpful. I obviously, when I met her at WFMU, that was my first experience to it. And I was like, this is extremely thorough. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But also, she's behind the Vinyl Revolution Record Fair. And I believe the next one, if I'm not mistaken, coming up October 4th at the Bohemian Hall and Beer Garden in Astoria. Lovely
That's
Astoria,
impressive.
New York.
Because I haven't really promoted yet. Just kind of announced it because it's still a couple months away.
Surprise, surprise.
But yeah, our favorite Astoria show is back. It's all about beer and records, and people, they love the combination.
It's a winner. It's a winner. But even before that, she works in the industry. We'll get into all that. But even before that, let's start. It's always easier to start in the past and work our way to the present and then the future. But dare I say record store kid, because your dad owned a record store called Slip Discs, plural, records in Long Island. How was it growing up as a record store kid? Because you didn't really start collecting until the record store closed, right?
Yeah. I mean, as a kid, I was a CD kid. That's predominantly what we were selling was CDs in the 90s. My dad opened, I heard in the Rockaway interview because I started laughing. They opened in 83. And that's right around the same time as my dad opened in 82. And I wasn't born until 90. And I'm assuming you're younger than me. That's just
whoa. Yes, I'll take it. I'm not, but I'll take it. Thank you, Amanda.
I wasn't born until 90. And at that point, like, he was phasing LPs out. They weren't underneath. You didn't have to like dig for LPs yet. They were still out and about, but they were pushed towards the back, and then a majority of the store was really just like used CDs and cassettes and like all new CDs. Especially, by the time I was like conscious and walking around, it was 95, 96. That's all the new releases were coming out on CD, and he specialized in metal and punk, and a lot of import stuff that you couldn't get in other places. So mail order was super big with us. And I think it just blew up from there. But it wasn't really records until later on, and we closed on the first RSD ever.
2008 it would have been, yeah, okay.
Was our last day in business. So we kind of missed the resurgence by a day. But
sure.
We were around, 26 years.
Is that where I'm assuming, I don't want to jump to conclusions, I'm assuming you love music. Is that where the love of music came from, just being around it and being exposed to different types, CDs, vinyl, otherwise?
I think I was just kind of raised like as my dad. I was just like a small mini me version, and I wanted to be like him. And we always had really cool events going on. Like for kids, it's super cool to learn how to I'm going to learn how to specifically fold this t-shirt and alphabetize it and ring this person up. And everything was old school, handwritten receipts.
Oh,
like everything was, if you were buying a CD, there was a column where you wrote CD, LP, CS, I think was for cassette back then instead of MC. Whole bunch of weird shit, the new Metallica, this with the tax, you're calculating sales tax. It was all really fun and exciting as a kid. So, I got super into it. And then my grandparents were into like the old Capitol stuff, Nat King Cole, Peggy Lee, Frank Sinatra, all the shit that made my dad snore. I was really into it also. So I had the 50s stuff from my grandparents, and then I had like the 70s, 80s punk and metal from my dad and his regulars.
Nice. Was there, I believe, from my preliminary research, was there like a concert venue across the street from the record store? So that probably helped with like meet and greets, right? Like the bands in town would just be like right across the street, come over.
Yeah, Metallica played the Rio. Slayer played the Rio. Really, really big names, and it was like when they were nobodies. So it wasn't a big deal then, I guess. But for like the Hell Awaits tour, Slayer's bus broke down, and they slept at my grandma's house. I wasn't alive yet. People love that story that like my grandma helped Slayer fold t-shirts in the driveway and like made them waffles in the morning and shit, but I wasn't there. I mean, it's a great story to hear, but now I've told it 95 times and I feel like I missed out more every time. Like, God damn it, Grandma. Couldn't have just waited a couple years. Yes, we had the Rio. I mean, there was just a lot more culture in the area back then. Valley Stream's like dying now. A lot of the businesses are dwindling.
Got it. So then the store closes 2008, and so you have this crash course in retail, and you take those skills, kind of like LeBron went to Miami. You took those skills to Needle and Groove. Do I have that right? The record store?
Yeah, I guess not even. I was at Generation before that as the buyer for a couple years in Manhattan. Generation Records is a pretty popular store. When Bleecker Street Records closed, they consolidated. They were the same owner. And Generation just happened to be off Bleecker Street, so the rent was just a little cheaper, and Generation stayed open. But that was like a very legendary punk spot. They opened in like the early 90s, 93, I think. So I worked there for a few years. I just kind of bopped around like working shows with my dad. So when the shop closed, he was just selling just on the road, and we were just kind of traveling. And I got to know different shop owners in the area. And I was like, oh, I'll take a job here. Or you need to alphabetize your budget section. It's a nightmare. And I would just do it for free because I was really bored. So
you sound like me. Like I would be at friends' houses when I was a kid. And if their closet was in disarray and I was bored, I would just literally like put the shirts in order and that sort of thing. So I can appreciate that. Like it's a constructive use of time.
I bring like 100 packs of sleeves. Anyone I know with a record collection to engagement parties and shit. I know I'm going to be sitting there all night and I don't want to like listen to people chat. I'll just replace your sleeves. Like, let me just re-sleeve your collection for free. I'm not bringing another gift. They're expensive, but my services are free.
I like it. Tell me about we said it in the open, but the record fairs, the Vinyl Revolution record fairs. Do you do those with your dad, or like what? How did that start?
So my dad was running small shows called the Collectible out of a location called the Brooklyn Bowl, which they have like multiple locations, and one in Nashville, one in Vegas, I believe, music venue, bowling alley. And he was running small record shows there, and he realized that there was like really more of a demand than he thought for it. So he was like, oh, okay, well, maybe we could do larger ones. And then he started doing them annually, then a few times a year in each location. And it just kind of blew up and became Vinyl Revolution. But we're like very specific about venues now. So we don't do it at the Brooklyn Bowl anymore because the lighting isn't good enough for record snobs. You have to be able to check. You don't want to have to wear your helmet with your light.
Yeah, I didn't know that mining helmets had dual
We're not
purpose.
miners, guys. We need to make sure the lighting conditions are appropriate.
Well, I think if you've been to one record fair, you've seen the type. They come in with the lights. Some have the helmet, some have like the goggles.
Not to name any names, Bob.
No, we're not gonna name anybody. But sometimes they have a sound burger. Sometimes they have the Fisher Price portable. I mean, it's good for them. That's almost
it's a vibe. At least the man knows what he wants,
Yeah, no shade. So record fairs, but then also you're still working in the industry. So record store experience. Now I believe, and if I got this wrong, tell me. All Media? You still with All Media?
Yeah.
So
if the audience gets bored, just tell me. I only get paid for one job, so it's super fun to do all these other jobs for free. I worked at Needle and Groove as the manager for 2 years and then stayed on for 4 years for free. I just want to put that out there. Everyone who's like, you still at Needle and Groove? Like when you asked me last, I still was not at Needle and Groove. Just worked there for free. You just saw me drinking wine in the back, reorganizing the Discog shelf. But I don't work there.
And to kill any rumors, this wasn't like a work release program from law enforcement or
this isn't a women in vinyl internship program. No, this is just my blood, sweat, and tears and boredom.
Got it. Awesome.
Where were we?
Well, we're talking about All Media. So what led you to work for All Media? And I want to follow up on that because I think you're the perfect person to kind of explain how the distributor model works. But what led you to All Media?
I'm really not. I'm actually still a newbie. I've only been there about 5 years. I've known the head of, he was our sales manager when I started. Now he's like the vice president of sales. Big boy job. But he was my father's sales rep in the 90s when I was growing up. So I've known my boss since I was like 8 years old, and I'd pick up and be like, hi, Todd, we need the new so-and-so. So I really have always known him, and he was my sales rep. So it's kind of nice to be a sales rep for stores now. I didn't apply for this job. Got it kind of softly offered to me during COVID because so many stores were moving online.
Sure.
And I was just working at Needle and Groove, and that was like the first real manager job I had at a record store. So I kind of still felt like a newbie on the retail side, even though I've been doing it my whole life. So I went right from retail to wholesale, and I love it. I kind of just got lucky, and now I work from home, and I get to talk to record stores from all over, and you can order all of the new releases through AMS. There's like two biggies. There's Alliance as a one-stop distributor, and there's AMS. Those are like the two big one-stops. There was, Ingram.
Ingram folded, right?
Yes. So now we actually have like a sales rep or two from Ingram that now work with us.
Okay.
But there aren't so many options for one-stops. You have to really buy direct from the labels or, open an account with someone like us. And let me be your rep. I swear I'm fun.
Yeah, this is actually what you don't know is Amanda paid us. This is a paid spot. She's promoting.
Sponsored by.
Is URP still one or was one?
URP is still around. They're not a record store distributor. They were out of there was only 3, and now there's 2 of us that can carry and distribute Record Store Day stuff. But yes, they are still around.
So they probably use like All Media and Alliance for like Record Store Day access, right? For those titles and stuff.
Okay. They order from us.
Got it. So for those who are uninitiated or uninclined, right? Like we're getting into like the seeds of the industry.
Well, wholesale's weird. It's a different animal.
Yeah, but you can do it. I assume people can place orders through the distributors, through you, online, or like how much is the real?
It is basically just like adding it to a cart and checking out. You don't have to call me and rattle off UPCs anymore. Like I was doing to Todd at 8 years old. You can still do that. But you can also order on the website.
Hang on a second. I'm getting a call. Child labor laws in New York. No, I
it's too late now.
Statute of limitations as well.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. I'm like, it's passed.
So kind of explain your role now, because if record stores, indie record stores are putting in their orders through the computer, if they have issues or if they have questions about upcoming releases, like how is your involvement work behind the scenes?
Well, I don't know how it works at Alliance. I only know how it works at AMS, but you can email us. Like when I was working at a store, that's not to say I don't know how it works at Alliance. I've had Alliance reps when I worked at stores. So if you're ordering from a distro and you have a return or an issue, each distributor works differently. So if I had a return, if I had something that showed up damaged at my store, Alliance, I believe I could issue like a claim for that. I could get a claim request through the website on Alliance. AMS, you can't. You'd have to bother me directly, but I like that. I definitely want to know, like, this box came damaged or this was not packed properly. I want to know what it was. Maybe it was a UPC error. Maybe right now I'm having an issue with they re-stickered the minor threat first 2 7s. So it's coming, the 12-inch is coming as the 7-inch. Because they re-stickered a whole batch of them, and all the stores are now getting the 7-inch instead of the 12-inch. And they're like, what the hell is going on? It's nice to know what the hell is going on. I don't actually want to like read a computerized claim about that. I'll probably skip it and be like, okay, I don't know what that's about. If I'm running into a problem that you're having, it's easier for me to fix it because I'm thinking about it. You know, like I'm sitting at that desk with this 7-inch that I now can't sell because I don't have a 7-inch bin and I don't carry 7 inches in my store. So this is a waste.
Well, this is an interesting scenario. I want to dig deeper on this because, like, if you have something like this where it's basically the 2 SKUs were inverted, right? Like, how does is there like a RA issue to return the merchandise to be re-stickered, or is there like a credit given if they want to re-sticker it at the store level?
Yes, it is circumstantial. It kind of depends. Like this store could be like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to keep the 2 7-inches. Could you just credit me the difference for what I would cost, you know, for the LP? Some people would be like, I can't sell this. I need a return label, and we'll get them a credit. So it just kind of depends.
Got it. So there's not like a standard. It's just like
whatever,
however they want to handle it. Okay.
Yeah. If there's a defect, sometimes they'll let you just take a picture and scrap it so that you don't have to send it back because no one can sell it because it's faulty. So it really just depends.
Got it. Case by case.
Case by case.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, are you doing something too with BCW supplies?
I wish I was. No, we carry, AMS carries BCW stuff. Okay. And their rep on the record store side, Jeremy, like is my best friend that I think he's my best friend. I don't think he thinks.
I was going to say, does he know this? Is this a surprise, Jeremy?
I don't think anyone's told him, but yeah, he's my best friend. No, I do I'm a big fan of supplies. I really like supplies. So anyone else who likes quality sleeves, we could have a conversation.
Sponsored by BCW Supplies.
What's up, Jeremy?
One thing to cover too, and I apologize. I probably didn't hit this in the intro. Women in Vinyl. Women in Vinyl, Mazzy, mutual friend Norman Masloff, turned me on to that organization, particularly the podcast.
He's been friends with Amanda for a long time, right?
I think so. Yeah. But what's obviously, can you speak to like your involvement originally? And I know like you were on the board of directors, but maybe you stepped back a little bit. Like, tell us about the organization and then tell us about your involvement.
So you serve as a board member for 2 years, unless you're like, I forgot what they call it. Someone like Amanda, who's just stays as on the board of directors. But they want to kind of revolve people as much as possible, get new, fresh people in there every 2 years. So I
Sure.
served from 2023 to 2025, and now they have a new batch of girlies leading the charge. It's really just a nonprofit that Jen DiEugenio started. She was living in Alexandria, working at Furnace Record Pressing, I think at the time when it started, with her husband, Ray. And she kept seeing like all these memes about your husband's record collection and the wife like cleaning in the kitchen and being like, honey, what are you doing? And it was pissing her off. She's like, I know that like I'm that person with the equally large collection that's taking up space for my husband, which I can now attest is taking up space away from my poor child. And I will not downsize, and I'm sorry. He's still small, so we'll figure it out. So she started just kind of a nonprofit, like before it was a nonprofit, it was a blog. It was a blog and it was a website. And she would just come out with little articles that highlighted women working in the industry as mastering engineers, DJs, working at pressing plants, working at record stores, which is how kind of we started talking. And then she moved to Austin, Texas, where she is now. And she's working for Gold Rush Vinyl.
Oh yeah, they just pressed my friend Louis Golden's record. He was just on the show last when we're taping this.
Okay.
Last night.
Well, he probably worked with Jen when it came to something, the cover art, something.
Sure,
does a lot of designing and.
Now that I know this, I'm gonna actually text him right after and be like, "Hey, do you know so and so?"
Yeah.
Which is actually a great segue. I was gonna ask this later, but you kind of alluded to it before about not really necessarily applying to some jobs you just lucked into or happened upon certain roles. How important do you find networking in this industry and in this hobby, particularly like we're talking about? It's so small that a lot of people know each other, but then it's also great because a lot of doors you may not have to chase after, that sort of thing. Like because in record collecting, for me as a not in the industry, like networking is super important, especially if you're looking for hard to find records or you don't have access to certain stores on the ready and that sort of thing. But in the industry inside Amanda,
I
like
think,
how important networking?
Well, I think that I want to bring up, honestly, just because I'm in New York and we're so overrun with, you're in St. Louis, right?
That's right.
So you have a lot of shops, right? You have like, I won't get off subject, but I'm going to have to go back to it. It's easy for me to find records. So I think that for me, like thinking of a state that had like 8 shops in the entire state. And I'm like, wait, that's crazy. I have 8 shops like down the block. It's got to be hard. And you're going on Discogs and you're so networking in terms of especially buying and selling, I think in a place where it isn't so condensed is super important. Way more important like somewhere else than in New York or in St. Louis or LA, Vegas, any, major city where there's a lot going on. Because I know, I don't want to curse. Loved St. Louis. I loved
So you've been to St. Louis because I know you did the pamphlet, but I was going to ask, have you been to the Show Me State? Have you been to our
I drove
area?
myself. I drove from here to Kansas by myself. And I did a whole bunch of the shops on the way. Loved it. Loved Infinite Spin. What was the one right around the corner? Dead Wax.
Dead Wax, Jeremy at Dead Wax, yeah.
So good. They're all good. Loved them. Euclid was incredible. I took way too many pictures. They definitely thought I was like a secret shopper or I was like, no, it's just a beautiful display, man. It's gorgeous. The whole place is so curated and you could find everything there. Like you're looking for it, there's a sign for it in Euclid.
This is true. And they have the New Orleans outprint too. Not that we're going to make this all about St. Louis record stores, but yes, we could go on. It's so nice to talk to somebody who knows.
No, networking is important. For me, it makes me feel comfortable. I think that there's a hobby of like outsiders and we're all kind of awkward around normal people. So to talk to people that are like you, it means a lot.
Sure.
It's nice to come across like a friend like Arnaldo at a show and be like, hey, what have you been shopping for? And it's nice. It's good. But
Yeah,
you
it's
can
kind of
get a job like just talking to anyone, which is why Women in Vinyl is important. I think just kind of talking to just people working in the industry doing something a little different. Maybe you hate what you're doing right now. Maybe you just need to switch it up.
sure. Well, and I think there is a conception or misconception, depending on your point of view. Record collectors are it's basically a sausage fest, right? Like it's a bunch of dudes, or
Uh-huh.
it's a bunch of older white dudes. You know what I mean? And like I think one thing that's great about, at least from my experience, and what I know about Women in Vinyl, it's kind of like breaking that down and showing that there is much more diversity than that people really give credit, not only in the hobby but also in the industry. Do you see it that way too?
It's something I definitely didn't see. I mean, I definitely only knew two girls like growing up that I mean it was all and it not even like gender but age
Mm.
was a huge factor. There was really no one my age um in 1996 listening to Cheap Trick and that their favorite band was Cheap Trick and like what? I mean I'm not making friends on the bus, guys. It's not happening for me. So, yeah, it was super important to be able to find like a community of 40-year-olds that was like, yeah, man, Cheap Trick rocks. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah,
My people,
they get it. So yeah, it's
How-
nice to see like 25-year-old kids now that maybe don't have like college friends that get them, but like met a 63-year-old dude at the record fair that like they're going out to lunch with on the weekends. That's cool. It's a cool vibe.
yeah, yeah. How do you think that, like, collectively, not just the Women in Vinyl experience, but also just collectively in the industry and in the hobby, we make the tent wider? Because obviously with COVID, like there was and we'll talk about this too, explosion, particularly in terms of the industry as a whole. But a lot of young people are now collecting records. You know, some of them don't even play them. I think the stat I saw, right or wrong, 50% of new buyers aren't even playing the records they buy, but it is what it is. And you can challenge the data. But point being is that, like, there's a lot more new faces in this old format. So how do we
Yeah.
continue to kind of spur that interest? Because obviously prices are going up and prices are what they are. In a lot of cases, it's almost prohibitive to finding new people to the hobby. How do you see it?
I see it like we are pricing them out. And that's why you see there's like a huge influx of CDs just coming back.
CDs are back. Oh, I wish I had my drop ready, Amanda. CDs are back, baby. Come
They're
on.
back, dude. It's just stores like you could pay $4.99 wholesale for Jeff Buckley Grace and sell 10 copies of it, before you sell the LP for 25. It's the opposite of how it was when I was growing up. So, $5 CDs are back. Back.
Well, and it used to be that way 10, 15 years ago. The same was for vinyl, right? Like people,
yeah, but
it was exactly what you said. It was inverted, and that's how people did collection building in mass quickly, and also exploration.
I think that's why everyone's like, is this the best time, do you think, to be a record collector?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I'm putting you in the no column. No column.
I mean, I thought about it, dude. I really did. I thought about it long and hard, and there's pros and cons for sure. It's amazing that everything that I wanted, like in the early 2000s, that I could never get on vinyl is being reissued now. And it's coming out on a fancy color, and it's got a stamp, and it's limited to something, and it's got a pair of 3D sunglasses. But is that what I need? No. I want that record that I've been looking for 5 years that I found in a bin, like underneath for $1 because someone forgot about it when they bought it new. And the shrink wrap's coming off, and it's like, I'll save you, Shane McGowan. I want that feeling back.
Well, what do you think about this? We're put on the collector hat still. What do you think about, like, like, I think obviously e-commerce online has made it easier in a lot of ways to find records. Do you think that inside the hobby it's shifting a little bit, and that people are becoming more dependent on what I'll call the 79th organ, the mobile phone? They're using this guy, they're using eBay, they're using whatnot, they're doing these auctions, which we can talk about in a second. Rather
I hate
than
it and I love it.
Well, doing the work, right? Like, rather than going to this and looking and the exploration and finding it in the wild, like there's nothing like it.
Guys, he said it. I didn't say it. He said it. No, yeah, absolutely. I think it's awesome that, like, there's a Thin Lizzy nightlife. I don't know how close it is to me right now. that I will never find in the wild. It's a Japanese pressing. There's not a single one being sold in the US at all, ever. I look all the time. I own it. I love it. I will be buried with it, even though I don't even plan to be buried. Cremate me with it. It's not going. It will be mine forever. It's cool that you can get that online. Yeah, but are you looking for it? Are you going out and looking for it? Because I think that that's the problem. It's laziness. I'm seeing stores ordering Styx Grand Illusion, the reissue. Why?
Did you look in your own bins? Did you look underneath?
Why?
Did you look underneath? Like, there. Yeah.
I know maybe a customer is like, I need it for someone's birthday and they want the clean new reissue copy. I get that. But there is a brand new, crisp, maybe played once copy somewhere in your store, like that you bought for nothing. Don't buy the reissue. I'm selling you the reissue. Thank God I don't make commission.
so
don't buy that. Like, you'll find a nice, clean copy. Don't waste your money on that.
So is it safe to say that you are on team OG rather than team reissue? Because, there are camps to this. You know that, Amanda.
I'm somewhere in the middle. I really love reissues. I think reissues make me so excited. Like the first two Cheap Tricks, I just brought up Cheap Trick are being reissued either this week or next week on silver and blue, and they're cool and they're beautiful. The self-titled Thin Lizzy's coming out, super deluxe version with the original cover and all that. Beautiful. So excited. It's cool, but I have the original. Is that cooler? I don't know. What are you putting in the deluxe?
What do you think about, and this is one we've had these conversations offline, but online too on our programs. But, like now the marketing is you're learning about all these mastering engineers who are just behind the scenes people pretty much forever. And now that these names are being placed on the hype stickers and they're used to sell and move product. What do you think about that? Because nobody bats 1,000. And I know that it's a very,
right.
This is a very tribalistic kind of approach in that people are like, I'm getting all the, sorry, Kevin
Wilson
Bray.
Remix. Yeah.
Right, you know what I mean? Or you're like, oh, I really like, Ryan K. Smith or whoever. And I'm sure they're great guys, no shade. But like the hype stickers now include this, like mastered by, and it's,
yes.
What do you think about that? Because like I said, nobody bats 1,000. So it's, I understand some people, it's like flavor. Some people like the way, taste. Some people like, whoever, right? What do you think about that?
I think if you've done the work, it's okay to take some credit. It's okay to throw your name on a hype. No, I don't care. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't add anything to me. For me, unless I don't know. No, don't care.
Don't care.
No comment.
No comment. We're gonna edit that part out right now. I'm just kidding. So you actually, we kind of hit on it before. So you are the vinyl resurgence, the vinyl rebirth, whatever these people want to call it. Great. Access is easier. Business is booming. All these sorts of things. But you're contending. What you said earlier is it's not the best time to be a record collector. Can you expand on that?
I don't think so. I think musically, I think tomorrow's always going to be the best time because there's more music tomorrow than there was yesterday.
I like that. I never thought of that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
What was that? After only one drink. You should wait until we get going. No, I like, but I don't listen to a lot of new music. And I think that a lot of my favorite shit I could have found for like $1.
Yes.
If I had started collecting 10 years earlier, and just gave a crap a little more. So I think that, no, it passed me by. Best time to start collecting was probably in the early 90s when it was dying. Sorry. But like all this stuff that like I wanted pressed was already pressed. And it was easy to find in, I suppose, decent enough condition and not worth that much money. Or as much as it would be now. So the 90s, take me back.
Hey, you're speaking my love language. Like 90s, that's what got me into the hobby, quite frankly. One, it's the music I grew up on. And two, once it became very clear that that stuff was hard to find on vinyl. I'm talking Pearl Jam 10, Nevermind. I'm
Exactly.
talking all the mainstream stuff, right?
But it came out and it was such a limited press. They were like, okay, well, we're gonna blow through these fucking CDs. Did it? I did it. I cursed. I did it.
All good. All right.
We're gonna blow through the CDs, but we're not gonna sell that many LPs, so they didn't press them, and no one cared. But now they do, and well, it's very affordable. The reissues are incredibly affordable.
For sure.
Of
access,
10.
I'm all for the reissues, but I still, and this is one of the things, and we'll talk about your collection in a second. It's one of the things, the hallmarks of my collection is 90s pressings. Now they can sound like poo-poo.
Right.
A lot of that stuff wasn't mastered correctly for vinyl. It is what it is, but it's still what came out in 1993 in Camelot music. Right. And that's the piece that's connected. That's the connective tissue for me. Will I buy one that sounds better? Yeah, maybe. But ultimately, that's part of the sauce for me.
Good for you that you say, yeah, maybe, because I have like 6 of all those. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I do, but I didn't.
I buy all of them over. If it's like a favorite 90s record, I bought it 6 times. That's my Liz Phair. There's like a chunk of them. This thick. Original, 2 originals, 1 original in this color, 1 original.
Sure.
Why not? Like, well, they came out at the same time. It was the same year. One's technically a second pressing, but you've got to have them both. You could make arguments for everything. One's a gold stamp promo. This one's got the hype. It's in shrink. It's got the hype.
Well, listen, you're talking to somebody who has more copies of Huey Lewis and the New Sports than anyone probably fathoms. So
is that true?
Oh yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not trying to out myself. I've got the reissues. I've got the Pool Table Green. I've got the Japanese. It's
cool.
Hallmark of music. 1983. Again, great year. Great year. One thing, not to go off on a tangent, but as I was doing my research, I didn't know this until we started, and maybe you don't even know this. Do you know you have an IMDb page?
No.
Surprise. No, I guess there was a show.
It's probably like a practical joke. It has to be.
No, okay. Or if you don't know, surprise. I'm about to educate you. Something called The Great Record Hunt. I guess.
With Ethan.
Okay, sorry. So you do know. Yeah, there's an IMDb page about that, and then you are listed in the credits, probably for the New York episode. See, so congratulations. And what is it like to be a movie star?
Well, I just like to thank my fans. I was working at Generation for like 3 weeks when they had come to record that episode, and no one wanted to do it. And I was a big enough nerd where I'm like, well, I know the history of the store. I could do it. No problem. Because I have like a lot of old school punk dudes like from my area worked at Generation when I was a kid, and I just like idolized the store. Like I thought it was so cool to work at that store. So I was happy to do it.
That's funny. So is it safe to say that after this interview, you're going to go right to IMDb and make sure they got the facts right?
I will definitely not be. No. Don't like voice Google me, because someone did that and I was mortified. I had to like do it myself. It's a long laundry list it knows everything about me. It's incredible.
Wow. I did not know that. I mean, I'd put the name into Google to make sure, because those facts are important. And I wanted to make sure I had all the info, but the IMDb thing caught me by surprise, and clearly caught you by surprise. So
yeah, no, I didn't. Don't Google me, or don't go to IMDb.
I didn't go to page 2. Let's just put it that way. I didn't go to page 2. I didn't find out all the secrets. Let's talk about back to the record fairs. Like, how much work is it putting those, organizing? I'm assuming you guys are selling too, right? You guys probably have some tables. Like, I mean, I've sold at my local time or two, and it's.
Oh, have you?
It's a lot more work. Yeah, it's a lot more work than
cool.
I didn't organize, but like usually before I do like one of my Austin trips or one of my big trips, I'll sell at my local.
I mean, selling is no picnic either, dude. Loading in and setting up and pricing your own stuff and letting things go, that's difficult. So I applaud anyone who's able to do it. I cannot do it. I've done it like 4 times, and every time I have 1 box of records, and I'm like, you sure you want it? You sure? I want it? Maybe I shouldn't have put it in the box.
Well, how do you decide what to get rid of then? This is as a collector. How do you decide?
I don't. This is all killer, buddy. There's no filler in here.
Okay, there's
no filler in here. I have like 60 Melanie records, but I've downsized my Melanie and I've downsized my Paul Revere and the Raiders by like a lot. So yes, it's all Killer. This is like all the Stooges Funhouse. It's just
that
every version. Yeah, that whole. But
wow. So
we can get
dare I
into
ask? Because generally speaking, it's not socially acceptable to ask like somebody's number, but in record collecting, I feel like this is almost like a qualifier. So have you quantified like how big your collection is?
Discogs would probably tell me that. It's probably off by like a couple hundred. I'm usually very on top of it. It took me I think all of 2024 I sat down and cataloged everything.
Oh, you did it. So thousands? Are we in the thousands or
like 2,500 maybe?
Okay.
I like offload a lot. I give everything away. I'm always buying new versions of something, like a reissue of something I don't need. Because I know I'm going to talk to someone at 3 weeks at a party who's like, I just heard for the first time, and I'm like, you gotta own it. And then I give them to him at a dinner or something. So I stay around 2,000, in between 2 and 3 always, and I don't go beyond that.
Nice. How do you find it? I'd say new, now when I say new music, I'm not saying like new music like Charlie XCX or something like that. I'm talking about like music that maybe you didn't know. Like this is one of my favorite parts about being a record collector is you may have an album and somebody may play an instrument on an album. Like I think of like Jocko. Jocko played on all these different albums. And once I got to appreciate Jocko as a bass player, then I wanted to learn about Weather Report and all these things he played on without credits. How do you discover new things? Is it the same way you hear some? Because obviously you like what you like. Customers. Okay.
Yeah, it was always like customers and friends. And when I left Needle and Groove, Dylan Rodriguez, who now sets up at his own table at shows, the Laundromat Records, became the manager, and like he got me into really crazy I'd never been into before, like later Bobby Darin stuff that I didn't even know he was still a recording artist at this time. And he's like, "Oh, have you heard the late Bob Darin stuff?" I'm like, "What are you talking about, dude?" But he gets me into stuff a lot. Customers, a lot have passed away, but have gotten me into like, Quatermass, or like a record that I probably wouldn't have picked up on my own, and now I love. So customers, stores,
Nice. All right, we're coming in on we're about to land the plane. Just a little bit more. Last one before I'll give you some lightning. We'll end this on a light note. What do you think about these artists that are still alive? You talking about Bobby Darin. Artists are still alive or selling off their catalogs while they're alive. Like you read this in the news all the time. Bruce Springsteen sold his catalog for millions of dollars, and Elton John and all this. What do you think about that, especially while they're alive? Do you think that's like bad beat, or is that like smart?
I mean, it's probably smart on their part. It could be bad juju or something. I don't know. I mean, if you, I think Bruce will be okay.
Well, I just don't want like Glory Days to be in like a McDonald's commercial. You know what I mean?
It already is.
Well, but that's what I'm worried about. Is like the commercialization of this stuff is sad.
It already is. Jerry Allen White, or whatever that handsome guy's name is, already played him, right? Yeah. He did the thing, and like it already is. It's Bruce. He's the boss. I've been setting up in front of that "Greetings from Asbury Park" sign at the Stone Pony like every year for the last 20 years. Everybody loves Bruce. I'm from Long Island. Everybody loves Billy Joel here. Billy, if you're listening, I hate you.
Oh no, we cannot have William Joel smearing on this program, Amanda. I just
look me in the eye. Hate you.
Oh,
but
Mr.
no,
Mr. Joel, please don't listen to this. Like, clearly did not like the Attila album. Clearly,
Attila's amazing. Billy, go back to Attila. Let's go back to Attila and Oliver and Company, and you can stay.
All right. Well, we've got the fur skirts and the wardrobe on order. But,
the album's solid though, dude.
Well, I'm sure you've heard that urban myth that whenever he would tour, he would have somebody from his road team go to local record stores to find the Attila record to have it destroyed. You've heard that one, right?
I have not heard that.
Oh yeah, again, urban legend. It's who knows? But
so what you're saying is that he's more uncool than I originally made him out to be.
No, I didn't mean to spin it that way. Miss William, I'm sorry, William Joel to
I knew it.
Family. Too funny. All right, how about some I guess it's music, but a couple maybe non-record questions. And this is probably the most important one. This may make or break the conversation. Amanda, is a hot dog a sandwich? A New York hot dog from the street cart, is that a sandwich?
You really can't put me on the spot. I'm a vegetarian too, so I haven't had a hot dog in like.
all right. We can listen. We can move to the next one. That's okay.
I used to love hot dogs, but I haven't had one since I was 12, and I'm 36. So I don't think my opinion matters. That's fine. Eat your hot dogs if you like them.
Enjoy your hot dogs if you like them. There can only be one choice in this next one: Beatles or Elvis, Amanda. Beatles or Elvis?
Beatles, but I do love Elvis. It's just that like Elvis. Someone else's shit mostly. So
okay. What do you?
Real good though. I really like Elvis.
I like both of them. You have to pick one. And
the Beatles.
All right, fair enough. What do you think about talent versus skill? What I mean by that is, what matters more in music? A talented performer, musician, songwriter, or someone who's skilled? Like you can teach yourself skill, right?
I listen to punk rock, dude. Half those dudes cannot play their instruments, and I absolutely love it. Iggy can't sing a note. But I would say, I don't know. Like, then there's guitarists like Rory Gallagher, and it's like, well, what would the world be without Rory? So I don't know.
Sure.
I guess talent.
I have to digress real quickly. You did mention Iggy Pop. Is it about time that Iggy quits taking his shirt off? Like, have we reached that time? I don't know. Oh,
Iggy, I've seen you like live 20-something times. Let's just be honest. I've seen him live so many times. He can keep his shirt off. He should just stop playing live. Like, I don't know why.
No.
I don't know why he's touring in 2026, babe. Hang it up. Like, you're tired. Do some yoga. Like, go do a spread for Gucci or whatever you were doing a couple of years ago. Like, take it easy. Like, just live the rest of your life.
Valentino's on line one, Iggy. Come on, answer the call.
He's got that gorgeous wife or girlfriend, or like if she's like a supermodel or something. Do that. Like.
Oh man. Well. We're coming up on time. Pleasant, dare I say, fun conversation, Amanda. So much fun to learn about you. Taking the time. To walk through your background, your love of music, your record collecting do's and don'ts, and you're a sleever. You just love organizing. Dare I say, is that something we can outsource? Can you be hired for the weekends? How does that work?
Yeah, call me. wearesmelly.com. All my information's on there. My cell number. You could text me from the website. Whatever you want. I'm not an in-demand person by any means. I beg you, if a store opens in your area, to let me know so that I can update my lists and make custom maps for people and make them accurate. Stores are closing and opening all the time, and I'm a one-woman machine doing all the work for 50 states. So my dad just sent me 3 this morning. Like, gotta add these to the Brooklyn map. So I'm really going to need everyone's help.
That's awesome.
Let me know about your favorite store, because it's good for me to know too. And I do like send people custom maps based on what you shop for. So like, I don't want to send someone to a jazz shop if they're only looking for pop and rock and stuff like that. So the more I know about your favorite shop, the better. So tell me everything.
Last one. How's it being a mom? You're a year into this now. How is mom life? # mom life going for it?
He's way cooler than me, so he makes it pretty easy. It's way easier than taking care of old music lovers. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Like, being at the beck and call of a 1-year-old, so much easier than like a 65-year-old man.
Take that, boomers.
They don't. Yeah, they do not take it easy on you, dude. It's I love the regular babies. The man babies are tough.
Noted. That we're gonna put that on a T-shirt. If there's not a T-shirt that has that, we need to take care of that. That's a great one. Love it. Anyway, well, Amanda Schutzman, thank you so much for taking the time. Great conversation.
Always a pleasure, man.
I don't know if I'll be at WFMU or up this fall, but hope to run into you again when I'm up that way.
Yes, and I want to take me shopping when I come to St. Louis, please.
Oh, of course. Now we know each other. We've broken bread, and yes, I think your pamphlet probably has them all, but I'm sure I can take you to a couple more.
Please, yes.
Anyway, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
See you next time on the Vinyl Community Podcasts.